before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we say fuck this piece shit and grab them clappers? How long before we lose our voices shouting Black Lives Matter? How long we gon' keep letting them disrespect our president? How long we gon' keep letting them terrorize our residents? I'm sick of this shit, it's word to Bernie Mac. How long before we police ourselves, take our own streets back? How long before Uncle Tom here and hate on this shit? How long before they take a shot at me for making this shit? How long I gotta wait for justice for Josiah Shaw? How long we gotta fake it till we can take it and whack 'em all? How long we not gonna make these youngins pull their pants up? How long we gon' keep letting them shoot us down with our hands up? How long we gon' keep killing our own and making these streets hot? How long will what I say to you stay with you when the beats stop? How long's your attention span? How long you watch the news? You ain't down to shake shit up with the rebels for the cause? I ain't talking to you.
Yo, what's going on, my people? How y'all doing tonight? It's your boy, Mr. Provoked Thoughts, and we are in the building. I'm glad to see you on a Saturday, one of my first of hopefully many Saturdays, and I'm going to make sure that I keep it short and sweet because on Saturdays I like to kick it. So we're going to definitely make sure we get in and get out. Okay, so, we had an interesting end to the weekend when it came to our news strand, man. Of course, they impaneled the jury for the bogus, terrible, horrible, awful hush money trial that they're doing just to interfere with an election. And you notice that they had a lot of people, that were absolutely biased, man. And they, and I don't think that there's any way that he could get an actual level of justice from that, man. And I just hope that things go well in the situation so that we can see actual justice happen in that. In other news, right outside of the courthouse where they were doing, the whole case, I don't like to call it anything, it's bullshit, but some idiot decides that, hey, I think that I want to, set myself on fire. I want to make it hot in these streets for real. So, it's an interesting thing to put yourself on fire. I don't know what was going on with this man, but I'm almost certain that there was a high level of drugs involved in this. So we look at, I guess that earlier this week at some point, Joe Biden has been on the campaign trail, and it seems that he has decided to spin a nice little tale of, sit right back and let me tell you about my uncle. And my uncle, he was he ended up getting shot down in the plane, and, and next thing you know, cannibals came out of everywhere and zombies and drugged his uncle and had Biden burgers. I don't know. The Pentagon says a little bit different. So right out, I want to welcome everybody who's in here already. I know it's different. It's on a Saturday, so it's a little bit slow. So we're going to see how it goes tonight. But I want to go ahead and start off by bringing up my boy Noobs. And we got somebody else backstage, a familiar face to you who's been on here a couple of times. So we'll get that going. But Noobs, how you feeling today, man?
What a mess. What a mess. We watch all this bullshit go on. And it's hard to make a decision about, well, do I want to keep watching this silliness or do I just want to ignore it for a couple of days, and just read the headlines? Because it's like I can't even it's like sitting in a dentist office when, they're trying to do jury selection and you hear these crackpots come out and they do interviews with them and everything, knowing full well the entire thing is just a sham and a setup.
Right.
And so it is really hard to make that decision about, man, how much do I want to know, or do I just want to wait for the highlights and skip the bullshit?
I don't do highlights, man. I can't. I mean, because I don't like for anything to really be lost in translation, and it seems as if
It's hard though, because it's really
I
hard.
mean, yes,
you know?
it's tough. It's tough. I mean, I'll get the information fast, and then I'll be like, okay, let's see what they didn't tell me. Then I'll go in and catch everything else, man. So, like I said, it's gonna be different, man. It's a Saturday night. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so I want to send a shout out to my people here in YouTube, also the people watching over on Rumble, those who haven't come in yet but will soon be here on X. And everybody who is in the chat or coming in, of course, make sure that if you're not a subscribed person on my channel, make sure that you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can know each time I go live. If you like the channel, that means that other people will get to see the channel. You don't have to keep it all to yourself, man. Hey, share it. I don't care. Share it to your friends, your mama, your Biden, Obama supporters. Send it, please, because we need people to know. Before we go another further, I'm going to go ahead and bring up my boy, Mr. Musically Fit. What's going on?
What's going on, man?
What's up, y'all? Can y'all hear me good?
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, this new discovery that we have, this is very, very interesting. I don't know how to feel. Apparently, we have gun-toting zombies running around that's eating people. It's a lot. This is, I don't like Noob said it best. I don't know if I should sit back and see what's going to happen next,
right?
Or if I should, or what? Because it's just like at this point, I don't know if he think that we supposed to believe. I don't know what it is, because after you have survivors from the plane speak out at that, I'm like, bro, come on, bro. You just trying to keep up with the Diddy scandal or what? You trying to keep it interesting? Like, what are you doing? Like, tell us.
My vote was aliens. I figured it was going to be, some world-breaking alien thing was going to come and interrupt this election. But you could be right; it could be zombies.
Man, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Hey, Resident Evil, man. Hey. I mean, that's what we're looking at. President Evil. We got a zombie right there.
Because now we done messed up whatever. We could have had treaties, whatever, with New Guinea. They ain't about to vote over this. It's about to be on SNL and everything. This is the most pitiful. I don't even know what to feel, because after you have people come after you and say, okay, no, bro, that's not. And then you have somebody defending you, trying to make it seem as if you look so good based off of what you said to defend the rights of America. And he's protecting one of our. He's speaking positively of people that served in the army. In the army, when he's speaking positively of people that serve, that's the most important thing. I'm like, bro, you hold. What are you saying? You hold lie on line. Like, I'm scared for the coming months. Any debates? Any debates? Like,
he is afraid deathly to
There's
debate.
Gonna be no debate.
He can't do it, man. It's not gonna happen. He what can he do? I mean, he can't say anything. But come on, Jack.
Bro, they gonna look.
He doesn't see. The thing of it is, he doesn't have COVID to help him along. Because people were already gaslit with COVID-19. Right. That was a big gaslight. Where you sent everybody home, you made everybody panic, you made everybody think that the death was imminent. Okay, imminent death.
And you better start drinking this Kool-Aid too, because you're going to die.
Death. Okay, so you got all of this stuff going on, and you just look around at how everybody was demanding things of people that were never demanded before. You were at risk of losing everything. That was communism took over when COVID-19 hit.
Yeah, well, that's what they're trying their damnedest to put into
communism place. Literally took place. Mandate this, mandate that. There's mandates everywhere, and I'm like,
they might as well have military people walking across the street, down the street, bro. They might as well.
And now you got New York district attorneys trying to just use the system to steal people's property just outright in front of God and everything.
Steal their property and their freedom. I mean, it's gotten
For
to a point
bullshit.
where, for absolutely nothing. So like I said, what's real interesting to me right now, man, is we got a guy that decided, and I don't know, God rest his soul, or whatever the hell to say about an idiot that sets themselves on fire. On purpose.
Yeah,
I
I feel like it
If
was
we
a publicity
happen to
stunt.
watch, yeah, we might be there ourselves.
well,
Yeah.
today I just happened to be scrolling through Pluto TV, and I was watching Jackass, and Johnny Knoxville set him, had himself set on fire.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I was like, how ironic is it that I see this shit the day after an idiot sets himself on fire, and he had on like protective shit, and he damn near killed himself.
And what I think the crazy thing about stuff like that is, folks, cutting to the quick with it. It's people that get paid to make it look a certain way, so that people could think, oh, look, this is somebody that's being an extremist for this cause. It's just people that get paid and they're willing to put it on the line, and not even getting jumping off of a deep end, but going as far as gonna do this, and we're gonna take care of your family, and they're already set up.
I know
It's already set up to the point to where they have that person, they pull you aside, go ahead and do this, we're gonna take care of your family, and you don't really know if after you do what you're gonna do, if you're gonna get screwed over or not, if they're gonna really pay or whatever. You don't know. You just believe in the side you believe in, or able to get bullied, or they can make you scared or make you fearful to do something like that. It's just be set up. It's just be a setup.
And these are the same punks that are bringing, forklift pallets full of bricks and dropping them in the middle of neighborhoods and shit where they think there's going to be trouble. I've never seen a setup like that in my life. We saw it in Chicago and we saw it in New York.
Right. So let's go ahead and get into the idiocracy of the week. As the week came to an end and we got into the weekend, this man says it's hot out here in these streets, but I'm gonna make it even hotter for myself. I'm gonna go ahead and take myself out this way. So let's check it out. It's crazy. Like, there was nobody around. I think they said he made everybody run or something, where everybody started running or whatever. Because you see, they got all that stuff gated off because it's probably droves of people coming to see media and everything to see what's going on with the Trump trial, when they should be talking about other issues like the border and things like that. They're hovering around here. So, let's go ahead and continue watching this. It's not going to be too long. And there you have it. And there you have it, man. You got an idiot that decides that the best thing to do in order to protest is to set my stupid on fire. I'm just going to be that dumb, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to set my idiot self on fire, okay? And I promise you, man, I promise you, it makes no sense that actually happened. I'm like, I don't even understand. Sir Miguel, what's going on out there, buddy? Yeah. So I tell you, it's a ridiculous scene, and you know, me and News talked about it a little earlier. And, you know, of course, the news is not going to tell you how far left and retarded this guy really is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're going to try to spin it. He has no affiliation. We don't know that guy. Of course you don't.
To me, that part doesn't even matter because, I mean, we know that we got ratchets on both sides of the aisle.
Absolutely.
But I mean, the more and more crazy stuff that we've seen just in the last 8 years, you couldn't even 8 years ago you couldn't have conceived of all this craziness.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Like right in front of the Trump trial, this is what happens, man. This is the foolishness that is going on, and how people want to express themselves. I'm just going to set myself on fire and end it all in protest. You know, you're not going to even get to see the results of what you're not even seeing the results of what you're doing. I don't know. Oh my God.
Yeah. And remember, we had this conversation too. We had the conversation about our future conversation where it's like, dude, I don't even know what to say anymore. It's just gone completely stupid.
Now, the only thing that I know is that for you to wake up and decide one day that you gonna set yourself on fire.
And I think he premeditated it. So this has been going on for a while.
But the problem is you got to be one high son of a bitch in order to decide that this is the day and I'm going to do it and I'm going to light myself on fire.
Because that's a horrible.
You know, the last time I really heard about something of this nature was back when I was a kid. And that was when Richard Pryor set himself on fire. Let's go ahead and watch some footage.
I saw Richard just only a few hours before he burnt up. He was completely out of his mind.
His aunt was there, Aunt Dee, and I said, he's going to hurt himself. And they basically poo-pooed me and said, get out of here. I walked out. I knew he was going to hurt himself. He said, I've made my mind up.
He called me in Hawaii. He wanted me to come to Los Angeles and cop some drugs for him. And I said I wasn't going to do that. I couldn't do that. And he talked about, I can't go on like this. I mean, I haven't slept for 4 or 5 nights.
There was no reality at all. None. Zero. Gone.
He said then he was just going to kill himself.
He had the pipe in one hand and the torch in the other. He was dunking the torch into the rum bottle. And he was so addicted at this point, couldn't put the pipe down. He couldn't put the torch down either, because he didn't want to miss a hit. If the torch was still lit in any way, hot even, into a bottle, boom.
We were looking at some specials they were talking about Vietnam. And we was looking at the monk that doused himself in gasoline. And he lit the flame. And I said to Richard, look at this man's commitment. And in Richard Pryor fashion, he said, and he didn't even flinch, which made us laugh.
A few hours later, he caught on fire.
What he told me happened with him, he took like 180 proof rum and he poured it all over himself, and he lit himself on fire deliberately.
I didn't hear a scream or nothing from Richard. It was just a ball of flame coming down the hallway. I could look out his bedroom window and see Richard running down this long driveway in a flame.
Do you know why you were running?
I was running because I didn't want to die sitting down. I just wanted to run out.
It was, I suppose, a suicide attempt or a very, very bad decision while under drugs.
Later on, we found out that the reason it didn't kill him on the spot is because he had like 23 grams of cocaine in every part.
Now let me stop it right there. There we go. There we go. That's it. You got to be high as shit. And he made it. I guess old boy didn't get high enough, huh? What you think? You didn't get high enough?
I think it was just one of them things, bro, because it's like people, he had to have also been paid, because there's no way that you go and do something like that to be for or against anything. And unless you're just some extreme, now let's be real, there's some people that are extremists in religion, and even though they might, of course, have to get high to do it, even some of the folks that bomb themselves, some people that do that, some of them do take something and they call it a part of their religious ceremony as a part of the taking of the life, and it's not a sin at that moment when they take that drug or do that line or whatever to get hyped up for the suicide. So it's like, it's one of those things that there's extremist Christian, there's extremist even Christian groups, bro, that will go that will go that far to where they could even, and it's super sad because some of the individuals are not hyped up on anything, and they really believe in their heart of hearts that they're doing something just righteous, and they're getting some sort of reward or the fame or the memory thereof, them being remembered. Because even if you think about it in some of the history, how we got a lot of martyrs and a lot of so-called saints, they were willing to put their life on the line, or their lives were put on the line, or they, were propped up, for the ones that were propped up. Certain ones put their lives on the line to even be put in that tier level where they were considered a saint or whatever. And they thought that that was the right thing that they were doing for whatever cause they were believing in, even to be remembered in history, to the point to where people still talking about them to this day, to the point to where you could still talk about certain ones. There's been folks that have sacrificed their life, quote unquote, for a religious belief system. That's why I would dare to say, from my perspective, religion is so dangerous, because that's one of the extreme examples of what it can look like if you believe in a cause. That's why, I feel like as people, we all have to be careful with even sides we choose, because you can get religious with it to the point to where you're willing to put everything, even up until the point of your life on the line when it comes to your conviction. And even if, let's say, he wasn't high, and we'll find out later down the road he was some crazy Muslim or something, we got to start looking at stuff like that deeper. And because we're not crazy off into whatever it is that we believe in, we make a disconnection for the fact that we don't believe that somebody literally could believe in what they're doing on that level where they think it's worth their life. I mean, we see it all the time, but yeah, even for the folks that do take something, bro, yeah, he probably wasn't hyped up enough or whatever, but it's some folks that all they need is their belief. My point really is their belief is strong enough for them to think that whatever reward they're going to get or be remembered in their religion, like they're going to be Saint so-and-so or Apostle so-and-so, because some folks get ranked once they, die or whatever in certain religions. They get ranked. So it's just like,
what makes it really dangerous, particularly now, is the new religion. This whole, politics has become a religion.
Oh yeah,
that's real.
And so it's not just Christians and Muslims anymore. It's freaktoid libtards. It's kind of a mental gymnastics thing going on where up is down and left is right. And these people are just as fanatical, and they're cropping up more and more and more. Why? Because they need to belong to somebody or something.
Right. And it's so funny because, when people want to talk about religion, more people have died across the world, if not for anything, their religious beliefs.
Yeah, it's deep, bro.
You know, you
more
got
bloodshed have been spilled over religion than anything else.
You know, and it's not. You know what? It's not. Let's not get it twisted. Religion, faith, is different to me than religion. You know, if you know, one of the things that I know for sure is that you can have faith in all the faith in the world, and you can say, "Oh man, I'm going to get a job," you know, because God, you know, said that, you know. But the thing about it is, if you don't put one foot in front of the other, you go knock on some doors. If you don't go and do anything but just say, "I'm just going to wait on God," faith without works is dead, man.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do if you don't do. There's nothing's gonna happen for you if you don't do something. Yeah, you got to do something.
Right. You know, you have to, you know, because if you believe in God, Yahweh, Muhammad, whatever, you have to understand that the ability to put one foot in front of the other was bestowed in you by that higher power. So it's amazing to me that people don't even see that part. You know, they don't see that, you know, being such an extremist on the left or such an extremist on the right is religion. You know, this guy from what I get, you know, this guy from what I gather had something talking about that the school system was run by the mafia pamphlets or some shit. I don't know.
Jesus Christ, that's what he was saying.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, well,
he left a manifesto or left a suicide letter.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. And it's an online one. You can go on and find it. Probably not on YouTube, but elsewhere.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. You know,
it's sad.
You know,
he was of the mind that, you know, or at least what he was saying is like, you know, all of the presidential matchups since the Kennedy assassination, or all the you know, the Republican versus Democrat, even Trump and Hillary, you know, he thinks that they're just best friends. They're in it together. You know, they're concocting, you know, everything that's going on in the country together. You know, he doesn't think that they're adversaries. He thinks they're on the same fucking team. And he said that the same thing about, Bush and Obama, and, you know, every matchup that, like, pretty much since the Kennedy assassination.
Oh, well, he's a damn fool. Well, was.
Or maybe he's not.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the thought has crossed my mind a time or two. I mean, let's not just take it.
I don't think that.
Now, I will say that I won't say that I won't say that in a sense politics are a web, and that these kids are not going to the same high school, same country club, same college. I'm not saying that that's not the case, but I want, you know, jumping off the deep end when it comes to conspiracy theories is saying it's a double-sided coin. They're, you know, the red and blue is the same. They're all in one team. You know, it's the government period. That's jumping off the deep end. But
now we already know we have a uniparty issue.
Yeah. Yep. But regardless, right. Yeah. But regardless of even like what he was saying in the letter, you know, we're knowing that these people's kids as friends going to the same schools together, you know, they're rubbing shoulders, even though they might be competing, they have to make some common ground because they live in the same gated community. Like, come on, be real. We gotta be honest when it comes to even how close this, even if it's not as deep as, you know, they're all conspiring together to control the public and they're the 1% or whatever, and they're just trying to control us. Even if it's not that deep, it's still understanding on the level that, yeah, these people will have a level of closeness because of the tax bracket they're in, and just in the, you know, there's going to be a certain echelon of people that they're going to be around. So it's like most people are going to, if that's your path in life, you will have seen all the people that you're going to run against that's going to be against you, for you, going to be in your cabinet or whatever. You done seen them a million times if that's the path in life you choose. You done been at a dinner with them.
You are a career politician, yes.
Right. Yeah, if you're right.
Exactly who we're talking about.
And right. If you're a career politician.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, yeah. You're gonna run into these people. You're gonna see these people at different, events, and you're gonna, some people that became your enemy, or you start to have different viewpoints with, or chose to go to a different party. Some of the people could have started out being your friend, especially if you didn't know the direction they was gonna go in, or that y'all was gonna end up playing for different teams. So,
And for the most part, it's really for most of them, it's about making money.
right.
This is let's not fool ourselves into thinking that Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and all these people are down there working for us, because that's a lie.
Right.
All right. We might have elected them, or somebody elected them, but it's a lie that they're working for us. They're working for whoever is paying their bills. And a lot of the people, whether Republican or Democrat, their bills are being paid by the same people.
Man,
I mean, if you want a revelation of what a rhino looks like, just watch them walk up the steps in Ukraine with all the Democrat monsters that have been, perpetuating this war, starting with trying to place, United Nations at the doorstep of the former Soviet Union. It's crazy.
Sad. It's sad.
Yes, it's crazy, man. I mean,
this Ukraine thing wouldn't have happened if it weren't for us.
It wouldn't have. I mean, we funded it.
Yeah.
Not just funded it, we provoked it.
Somebody commented saying, "Do those that push the trans stuff think God makes mistakes, or do they not have belief in God?" Somebody asked that question. It popped up on the screen.
I am reminded of the great mouse experiment, Mouse Utopia. If you folks have never seen or read anything about the great Mouse Utopia, you got to go take a look. And this is what happens when people have too much time on their hands, when they're not doing things that are necessary to survive. It's a revelation.
It's crazy because we are literally standing on the cliff of falling into either World War III or Civil War. Maybe both at the same damn time, huh?
Could be, could happen. And that's what the scary part,
I mean, where they could just sit back and be like, well, fuck it. Let's see what they do to each other. It's insane.
Yeah. And then the setup is, that's deep, bro. Yeah. And the setup is like gaslighting with stuff in movies and media like The Purge and stuff like that. That's the setup. They gaslight with stuff like that because if it was ever to go to a place to where it just crumbled, because that's what we really don't want to see. We don't want to see the infrastructure crumble, regardless of the pros and cons of what we would call it. We don't want to see it crumble for the fact that we don't want to let's just be real, be frank. We don't want to end up like some of these, our brothers and sisters, third world countries, or a war country, and we just running around, we don't want to end up like that. We're trying to protect the freedoms that people covet so bad to where you can walk out your house and sit on your porch and watch the sunset. We're trying to protect those things. And people don't understand the value of being able to walk up and down your street and not. I think a couple of weeks ago we were talking about it. Said best, you're not having to make a life decision when you go into the grocery store.
Right.
You want to know that you can live in a place to where you're not worried about your children's safety. These are things that we don't want to watch the infrastructure crumble. So it's just like,
well, and we have an administration that is trying to both ruin us economically and sow division into the populace at the same time as they're, letting folks flood the border from other countries. And so, man, I mean, if you can't see that what's going on is being influenced by outside of the country, then
right,
you got to be.
So, I'm sitting up here and I'm thinking about, this hush money trial and, what they're literally doing at the same time here in the court system. It's all connected. It's all colluded. It's all sick, and Kevin O'Leary has been a real I would just say one of the realest voices that we've heard so far when it comes to just what's happening here. And I'm thankful that somebody with money, even though he will probably become a target by doing so, has the balls to step up and say what this actually is happening. We look like clowns.
Wednesday's off. It is Thursday now, and former President Donald Trump is back in a New York City courtroom today. Third day of jury selection in his hush money trial. And one of the 7 jurors sworn in Tuesday was excused earlier today, which means they now again need 12 more. The judge says he wants selection wrapped up this week so opening statements can begin on Monday. This is Outnumbered. I'm Harris Faulkner, here with my co-hosts Emily Campagno and Kayleigh McEnany. Also joining us, former NFL sideline reporter and host of the Michelle Tafoya podcast, Michelle Tafoya herself. And
I didn't know Michelle Tafoya was left. All right, that's what's up.
Chairman of O'Leary Ventures, Mr. Wonderful. Kevin O'Leary is here. Good to see you both. All right, let's begin with Eric Shawn, who's been very busy today outside the courthouse. A lot of news constantly because they are back in court today. And we're focused on what at this hour, Eric?
Yeah, it's a very hectic day today here, Harris. Imagine first being called for jury duty. You know you're coming down here, and there are lots of cases, but you don't expect walking into the courtroom because they don't tell you beforehand. And you see the defendant, and that defendant face-to-face with you is Donald Trump. Well, that's what's happened to the jurors. We talked to one of the excused jurors who says she was shocked at this whole experience of being called for this case of the former president. And this comes as Mr. Trump is in more hot water with the district attorney. The excused juror, who would only give us her first name, Kat, says in no way did she expect to be called for this case.
We were shocked and frozen. And, it's a big case. It's a historical thing, right? So it's very important. I mean, it's very important. Like, our role was very important there as jurors.
Another juror who had been seated as juror number 2, well, she had second thoughts Tuesday night after she was picked, and she has been excused. Turns out her friends and family figured out that she was chosen for the jury. That woman is an oncology nurse, and when she went home after being selected, she got spooked because all of her friends and some of her family members asked her about the case, and details of her life had been made public, and she said she had concerns about...
Hold on, I think Brandon has a question. Mr. Joe Brandon, what is your question? Let me know, and we'll get that rolling. If this is not the question, I think we might have got to it, but if you got something else, definitely let me know. All right, let's go.
Being fair. Meanwhile, District Attorney Alvin Bragg's office is demanding that Mr. Trump be cited for contempt of court for 7 more social media posts that he made slamming the proceedings. He also reposted articles and media commentary critical of the prosecution. 3 posts attacking Stormy Daniels and Michael Cohen already have been cited by the DA. But in court, Trump's lawyers charge that his reposting what others say does not necessarily violate the gag order. And as for the former president, he has claimed he's being unfairly muzzled.
There shouldn't be a gag order. Let me just tell you, the gag order is totally unconstitutional. The judge should not be there. The judge is highly conflicted. He should not be there.
And as far as the second batch of 96...
And that's right, man. When you got a daughter that is pretty much backed by... Yeah, she's an activist, a Democratic activist. You're definitely a Democrat. And all of that.
A Democratic activist.
You are conflicted. You should recuse yourself. You have people in your ear all day, every day, influencing your... I really don't think that judges should have political affiliations. Nor prosecuting attorneys, anything like that.
Yeah, that makes it swayed. That makes it biased. And you see, that's why he wore the blue tie. He said, "Look at this color. This, That's why he wore the blue tie. Start paying attention to them blue and red ties and where he wear them.
But
start paying attention to that.
Is that they would just lie about it instead, and so you just wouldn't know what their political affiliation was at all.
Right.
That's true. Yeah, they will lie about it. They will lie.
Yeah, please show me where in the government where we have this imaginary cell of trustworthy, honest people. Show me one office in all of the government that has more than a dozen people in it, and I'll show you a bunch of crooks.
That's non-biased. There's none, because it's people that's going to already pick a side, and there's nobody that's going to not be able to do their job that's not based off of their own personal convictions. And
Right.
that's our problem here. What'd you say?
And when your bread and butter comes from the establishment, then, yeah, you're going to kind of lean that way.
Right.
Definitely going to lean that way, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's just so amazing that that's where we are with this. But, man, just check it out, man. Let's keep going.
Potential jurors who were brought in today, when they were asked to raise their hands that they could not be unfair, 48. Just over half said they could not judge Mr. Trump properly and fairly, so they were excused. They've now gone into questioning individual jurors in the jury box who were picked by random, and 3 of those jurors said that they have already read Mr. Trump's book, The Art of the Deal, and one of the jurors who is being questioned says he follows both Mr. Trump and Michael Cohen on social media. Harris, back to you.
Oh, social media, the great unifier. Eric Shawn, thank you very much. Kaylee, when I look at this, we know that we have a right to an impartial jury. We have a right to an impartial judge.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering if this Judge Mershon is displaying any behavior or past ties to signal impartiality himself.
Yeah. You cannot get an impartial anything in the state of New York where Donald Trump is concerned, period.
I believe so, because you can't put a gag order on one person but allow everybody to talk crap.
Right.
A gag order is a gag order, and it's for everybody.
Yeah, and just as a side note, I mean, Mershon should go to jail just for those fucking eyebrows.
Yeah, they're ridiculous. That's funny. All right, let's go.
I think he's doing the best he can. It's a tough situation. It's an unprecedented situation. But what I'm interested in, Harris, is I look at that image we just saw, that breathtaking image of President Trump in Harlem. I mean, wow. No one wants to be in the situation that the former president is in right now, but it strikes me as this is the 2024 campaign playing out before your very eyes. And you have President Biden. Politico put out today that his strategy, President Biden's strategy, is to not comment on this. Probably a smart play, because then you're kind of leaning into the arguments Trump has made. He made the one comment about my opponent is busy right now. So he made that one comment, but they're trying to stay away from it. Trump, however, is leaning in. He's leveraging these appearances where he's on every broadcast network to great effect.
I mean, what idiots. You want to pretty much muzzle this man, but you have cameras everywhere. He doesn't really have to campaign. He's really doing it virtually. And you're doing it for him. You're doing all the work for him. Oh my God, it's just blowing up in their faces.
Effect. You don't want to be in this situation, but those images in Harlem, the crowds that gathered, and then the lackluster appearance of President Biden at a gas station. What a contrast.
Yeah, he's also talked about how former President Trump is going broke through the process. I mean, he can't stop talking about Trump. He may not say his name, but he's focused. All right, let's go to this real quickly before I go to Mr. Wonderful. ESPN host Stephen A. Smith believes Democrats want Trump convicted in the hush money trial to avoid facing him in the upcoming election. Here it is.
It's much ado about nothing. To my liberal friends out there, all you're doing is showing that you're scared you can't beat them on the issues and the merits. That's why he keeps saying it's a political campaign against me. That's why he keeps saying they can't beat me at the election, at the polls. This is the only way they could do it. You have given more fodder to that argument, which means we'll never have peace in this country, because tens of millions of people see what extent the other side is willing to go through just to keep him out of office, because they can't beat him on their own merits.
Man, you got to check out YouTube every now and then for a calm Stephen A. Smith. Everybody had a comment.
Hey, shout out to,
need to get her on here.
Hey, shout out to my man Joe for the cash app, man. Appreciate you, bro. Much love. Thank you, thank you. Now, what was you about to say, Noobs?
I say maybe we need to get her on here. She wants to check out YouTube. We'll give her the first row Zoom meeting initiation.
Yeah. I don't know. She might be able to handle it, man. Yeah.
I think she
Maybe.
would.
But
Probably
Stephen,
both of us.
but what Stephen A. Smith said is exactly correct, bro. It's so deep because imagine if they did this in another time, how the people would act with no social media. It would be protests. It would be everything going on. They already know what it is. They have to attack it in such a way, make him make him an enemy in the media, put him in there in front of everybody. So because they know that the power of belief is played through the news, the power of belief is played through these people that people watch every morning because they know that people believe in these people, and whoever they endorse, they'll believe in. That's why for a long time, folks used to make the joke, if Oprah said it, it must be true, or whatever, what have you. It's because they know that people believe in these people they see every single morning. They watch the news. They know they have people's minds. So if they can make him a media enemy of the media, that's the only way they can do it. That's the plan. That's how you do it because they know they can't beat him fairly. They cannot go to the playoffs with Jordan. They can't do it because they just can't. They know it.
And it's just incredible to me that they were able to sow that much, and I mean, let's face it, just garbage, and so many people just bit off on it. And, sometimes I think back to, the sequence of events and everything like that. And I was like, man, I don't know how we all of a sudden became so gullible as a nation.
Well, I blame cell phones. Cell phones and applications that give you sound bites has become the order of the day. I mean,
well, let's imagine a world then without the cell phone. Let's just imagine a world where all you get is network television news in this age. It would seriously be 1984.
Oh my goodness.
Because there would be nothing to counter that. And I know we've had this conversation before about, how terrible the internet is and all that kind of neat jazz. But again,
Right.
it's a double-edged sword because just as fast as the garbage goes out, you can debunk it.
Yeah, and you know what the thing about it is what I really, and I can agree with that, and I do like social media for the fact that you can take this platform that mostly it's predatory, it's full of liars, it's full of gaslighters and all that stuff, and you can turn it into something absolutely special, and you can turn it into something good. So I'm not, lost on that. I know that that's, I know that there is power that goes both ways, and people just tend to use something that could be good for evil. Like Facebook is ridiculous. It always has been. I mean, when you look at it, people only like the shit that you say when you're going through some shit.
Yeah, the drama.
They don't like when I got a new job and I'm doing great. You don't get you crickets. But let your life be falling apart. Your relationship status changes from into a relationship to single or whatever the fuck. They lose their minds and they like.
You know what kills me about that whole thing is that in places it's even worse. I mean, you have these people who they might live in a 1-bedroom studio apartment, but off site they either rent or they have this thing that looks like the interior of a business jet, and they do their streams from these places. You know what I'm saying? Have you seen these folks? Oh, I think we lost Derek.
Oh no, I'm not going anywhere. Yes, I have. I have.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was over here coughing up a lung. I apologize.
Oh, you were taking a break. You got to announce these things.
Yeah, government mandated 15. It happens.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
it's a special holiday today.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's right.
Happy 420 to those out there who likes to partake in smoking the hashish, the marijuana.
Yes, sir. Happy 420.
That dank, that purple kush, whatever it is. Oh, yeah, he took
Happy 420.
He took a toke. He in Vegas. He ain't got to worry about shit. He go out there and fire up, blow a drag in a police officer's face. They can't do shit.
But the thing is, though, even about the media thing, what happens is this is what I've kind of peeped the game, because I ended up, so for example, I ended up taking a certain route on my social media, and a lot of things just started going viral, and I was like, this is interesting. The drama and all that, a lot of that is very true, but I also realized that the narrative is controlled by these big networks that know that they have the influence of the people. Because they know that there's only so many networks that people are going to watch, especially if you have a main cable or something, and there's going to be only certain things available. That's why they even came up with the whole algorithm spiel, because it's a way to, these are the videos that we're going to push, or these subject matters. You know that you're really doing good when you're getting views and you have a fan base, regardless of what the algorithm says. But when it comes to the narratives that they try to control, there's certain things that they want to keep on the internet. There's certain things that if you put something in the search engine, this is going to pop up first. You have to really be a researcher, really be a digger to be a person to find some of the alternative, or the what we would call the truth, or knowledge that would challenge, like you were saying, that what would challenge things if we didn't have certain access to certain things nowadays. Certain things that would challenge things. We really wouldn't, like, for even for the internet's sake, it still takes a person that will go out and seek out a certain level of knowledge, because even when you're talking about Googling, you Google something and it'll control the narrative. That's why that's why they're so afraid of TikTok, because you could go on TikTok and you could literally find 100 million videos of all this truth and leading you into a certain direction and getting you away from things and answering questions that you had answers, answering questions that you had, that you had questions or whatever. And they're afraid of people that will be willing to do the work and the research and are willing to be able to challenge the narrative and challenge what the groupthink is and what these main media outlets portray and they put out, because most people are going to be influenced by them. I mean, you think about it. Everybody watching Good Morning America, everybody watching it. So the narrative they want on there is going to be one where they can control most of the minds, the demographic, the group that they know is going to tune into that every single morning. And that's what these major news labels or news stations do. It's all about, okay, we're studying it all the way down to what's the age group that's going to tune in to, down to what they're wearing, down to everything, so that it can be attractive enough so that people can be like, yeah, I agree with it. Yeah, I like what she said. I like this. And they get them on every level, so that they attack every sense. And it's deep down to that science, to where they're attacking every sense. So that when you watch that, you automatically agree with what they're saying without questioning it. You won't research, and then you'll be angry with somebody that can have an opinion like we have, because you're so convinced by a show that you watch every day that comes on at 8 o'clock. You sit down after you stressed off at work and your brain's turned off, and you just believe whatever you play on television.
Right, absolutely. So let's go ahead and jump back in and see what Kevin O'Leary got to say.
About that, I'll start with you, Kevin.
I have a different take on this case, and I just want to preface my words saying before I comment, I've talked about these cases in New York now for months. This really, and every time I bring this up, I get all this Trump stuff. Forget about Trump, okay? We don't do this in America. We don't go after the office of the president with porn star cases. We give a broad swath of latitude. And if you're an ex-president and you murdered somebody, I get it, or been accused of murder. But what is this? This hurts the American brand. I keep saying that. I was in Geneva last week, 150 countries represented there. Everybody's talking about this, saying, what is this porn star thing? Like,
when did we start doing that, man? Like, when? Like, when did this happen? It's just so weird.
Whenever they decided that Donald Trump was not going to play ball with the establishment, that's when.
I mean, because, there was some type of dignity in how you even talked about a candidate. You didn't do this. And now it's just, you can say whatever, you can call them whatever. So pretty much the next candidate that comes up, you can say all these things, get them, and who's not going to pay anybody. That's why you don't settle. Let them talk, man. Let them say what they're going to say. No settling. You get no money from me. I'm sorry.
And you know what's worse? The part that galls me the most is that what they're doing is exactly against the Constitution. But the way the system is set up is that you have to go through the process and incur the damages before you can challenge it constitutionally. And that's bullshit.
Right, because the Constitution should be standing in front of the law and not behind it.
Exactly.
The laws were made to uphold the Constitution. The laws weren't made to lock people up unconstitutionally, and then they got to appeal and use all their money and lose time in jail and things like that because you wanted to convict somebody and you had bias on your side.
Yeah, and then to even go through the process, you run into some Yahoo supposed federal employee, judge, circuit court judge, whatever, that turns around and looks in your face and tells you have no standing. What the hell is that?
Man.
If I voted in an election, then it's my right to contest the election if I think there are problems. Who are you to tell me I have no standing?
Absolutely. So let's let Kevin finish because, man, he gets in the weeds on this one, buddy.
This is an American president. This is the office of the United States of America's highest office. And we're doing this. This is sheer stupidity. And I'll tell you what should happen. This should be pushed until after he wins or doesn't win. This should be not part of this election cycle at all. And this is not a Trump-loving comment. This is about the American brand where I bring capital from all around the world to invest here. We look like clowns.
Yes.
We do. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. There's no way to describe it. Our country is ridiculous right now. We got migrants sitting in council meetings demanding better free shit.
This is sad.
Literally saying, my children can't stomach the food.
Yeah,
Please.
if you wanted, and what was the name of that stuff? I can't remember. There's a certain name for it, but I mean, if you wanted the food from your own country, then you should have stayed there.
I mean, look, the American dream is simple. You pull yourself up by your bootstraps and you do something.
Not no more. Joe wants you on the government dime.
That's
and controlled.
That's the American dream, to be something greater than what your father was or what your mother was, or but by hard work and dedication and placing in time to get these things done. And it's like no one on that left side, well, no one on the far left fringe of insanity can see it. You got all of this stuff. You got crime in the streets, and people getting killed. You got catch and release with these immigrants. You got catch and release when they get here and they do some stupid shit. But You want to sit up here and you want to let all this crime happen and disasters happening to people that are American citizens by these illegals, but you want to target one person. It makes no sense to me, man.
Well, it does make sense to me because they just gave $200 billion of our tax dollars that this country does not have and cannot afford to support war in a country that we provoked. And Donald Trump is not down with that. So that's why it makes sense. They've got to stop this man at all costs, and they don't give a damn what law they break. They don't give a damn about the Constitution, and they sure don't give a damn about democracy.
And you're funding a war that Ukraine cannot win.
Nope. And I don't know why people don't realize this either. You know, I mean, Russia has all the time and the resources in the world. You know, that's like that right now. I mean, from Putin's angle, he's watching a tree stump burn in the next field over.
And basically, what it is that you want for Russia to be concentrating on something else besides building power.
But that's not working either because now they're selling gas and oil like it's going out of style.
Right. And I'm sure their gas over there is nice and cheap.
Well, relatively. I mean, of course, the first thing the U.S. did was try to put sanctions on them and everything else, but that's not working. Folks are still buying it.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Put sanctions on the people you should be putting sanctions on. Get out of bed with China, man.
Our government is still selling oil to China. What sense does that make?
It's crazy as hell. Let's go, Kevin.
I hate this.
Yeah, Emily.
And to provide more color into that landscape, first of all, the reason why court's not in session on Wednesdays is because of budget, because of the failure of our leadership and those in elected office to account for the budget. So we furlough. That's why it's closed.
Great point.
I learned that the hard way as a young attorney when I tried to make a filing on a Wednesday, and then I got chewed out. So we start from a position of toxicity and incompetence. And then secondly, let's look at, again, a secondary trial occurring or a concurrent trial occurring right here in the city of Manhattan, which is a criminal trial prosecuting an NYPD officer who punched an assaultive man in an Upper West Side Apple store. That is who Alvin Bragg is prosecuting, alongside a former president for a business falsification charge that no one else saw. It was personal records. That's what Manhattan is? That's what the criminal justice system is in America? The answer, I guess, is yes, because it's clownship. Final point on the Stephen A. Smith thing. It's just like that scene in Gladiator, where Joaquin Phoenix stabbed Russell Crowe in the ribcage because he knew he couldn't fight him squarely the arena.
Because his gear was over it, so nobody could even see that he had been stabbed.
Yes.
Your thought?
I missed that film. I've got to go back and watch it now. I must.
So good.
I love your point because this is clownish and we are looking foolish. When you've got, I'm going to say it, illegal immigrants, illegal aliens being thrown in jail for punching out police officers and then walking out and flipping off the cameras and going free. And then the city is pouring all of its judicial resources into this hush money case over a porn star. Like non-disclosure agreements are a dime a dozen. And we're trying to prove what here? And we're trying to, and this is where all the resources are going. It's embarrassing. It's sad. And it's, you know what? I agree with you. Leave Trump out of it. Whoever this happens to, it's wrong.
Yeah. It's a desert on the left, though. Everybody's thirsty. And no doubt.
Now that was the truth. They're thirsty over there, man. Yeah, you can still buy dumb. That's good. That's who he is, Joe Biden. You can have that. I'm going to use it too. For real, it's amazing that they say that women don't like Trump. But you get a panel of women and one guy. I mean, the lies that are told. And these are very smart women. And, it's so funny, the narrative that has been placed on this man, from the time that he walked down that escalator, man.
Yeah. Because, he was never racist until he put in his bid for president. Everybody was watching him on TV.
Yeah, he was the man.
And I still can't get over how quickly and pervasively that lie just went everywhere.
I mean, because look at I can show you the love.
Hello, Paul.
Good morning, Mr. Trump.
So you're going to teach me something today.
I hope I can do that.
Well, I'm going to try doing your job. It's not going to be easy.
Don't do it too well. Try that one on and see if that fits.
It's very interesting.
We do everything from walking dogs to running up groceries to whatever the guests may need. We really never have to say no to a guest. I think we have a guest that's going to be coming down shortly, checking out.
Am I allowed to accept tips?
You are.
Let's go get a guest. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Did you enjoy your stay?
I did. Thank you so much.
Very good. Well, I'll help you with those bags. Look at this, right? You didn't expect this,
I
right?
did not expect this.
That would blow my mind.
Like the first inside? Would you like this inside with you? I tried to, Here you go, man.
I would literally pass out.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd do, man.
Like Trump is carrying my fucking bag. Are you kidding me?
How
is
does
this really happening to me?
And how does he keep from, gathering a crowd on the street whenever this happened? How old is this video?
This has got to be shortly before, it can't be 20 years old. I don't think.
I don't even think it's that old. I'm looking at like his build and everything, and it looks fairly recent to me.
I'm thinking like 2014, 15.
I could probably buy that.
Right. So let's go.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is the first time I've carried luggage for anybody, including myself, in a long time. It's been a long time, but it was fun. The life of a bellman and working in a hotel is never easy. Good job. Good job.
I believe that somebody just called down for a dog walking appointment. I always keep a dog biscuit on hand just in case the dog is either nice
biscuit.
or not so nice.
Very good.
Please,
I hope it's not a vicious dog. Hello, how are you?
Oh my goodness!
I'm here to walk your dog.
Gosh!
We have a doggy park at the.
Yeah, she had a moment.
Yeah, she's having a meltdown right now.
Mhm, she got a little moist, I think. She
Yeah,
said,
the Matrix is screwing with me right now.
She said, "Ooh, I'm feeling some type of way." Oh my goodness! Oh yeah, so Trump, she smelled the money.
The hotel.
Yes.
And I'm going to take it for a little walk.
Thank you.
Have a good time. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Thank you.
Okay, good.
How
Nice,
blown away
man.
is the dog that he's getting walked by Donald Trump?
Dog's like, what the fuck, man? Jesus. Oh man, this is actually. I found this footage, man, because I'm a digger. I'm a rabbit hole digger. So this is good stuff, man. I'm telling you.
Hey. Come on, hon. Come on. We'll go over here. You take a dog, you go outside, it's freezing, and you walk around for a while, and it's not that easy. Okay, be careful. The fact that she trusted me with that dog was amazing. Probably she shouldn't have, but it worked out. Hello, everybody. Hey, Andy.
That says a lot.
How are you? Nice to see you. I'm going to...
What did you say?
I said that says a lot because, as he said that, if who here would have trouble, handing their dog over to Trump to go take him for a walk? Who here would have trouble with that? I don't know anybody on the planet in their right mind that would have trouble with that.
No. That's interesting.
That tells you something.
Yeah, so you see what type of guy he is, man. This is crazy that they could skew a person like this.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this.
Help
It's
you.
crazy.
First, give you an appropriate vest.
Okay.
You can look like us, please.
Put that in the middle. Very nice. Now what happens if somebody like me wants to take a bite out of the burger before I bring it to the room? Is that acceptable?
It's not a good idea. It's not
Not good?
acceptable.
Ready? Come on, let's go, Andy. Room service. Look at this. This is serious room service. I hope you give me a nice big fat tip. Have a good time. Hello, Mia.
Good morning.
I mean, what a people person. What a people person.
Did he get a tip?
I'm not. I would hope so. I mean, look like you did a pretty good job, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, it looked all right.
Yeah. Good.
Mr.
How are
Trump,
you?
always a pleasure.
Okay, let's see how much racism pops off here. You know, they say every time he gets around a black person, you know, good Lord.
Yeah, we're about to see a bunch of racisms.
Oh my goodness. I mean, but Joe, wouldn't you want a tip? I'd want one too. Give me my money. I did that. You know, hey, come on. Tips come with the job. Let's go. So he knows his people get tips. You're not crazy.
Nice to see you again.
So you're gonna
huh?
help me do housekeeping
I am.
today?
Am I going to change this again?
Yes.
Let's
this is-
go. Very nice, Mia.
Okay, so first we're gonna start off with the bed.
Okay.
So first you wanna pull the cover up so we have it kind of tight.
Right. Good.
So next, Mr. Trump, I'm gonna need you to vacuum.
Okay. So where's the little release? Wow. So there's a little piece of lint. Now it's gone. You're great.
So now
Oh my God. I mean, it's just funny. It doesn't matter. Oh man, that is hilarious, man. This is good stuff. This is stuff that people don't want you to see. Joe Biden couldn't pull this off if he tried. That little bitty ass dog would have drugged his old ass.
Or bit him.
Probably. Like, why is he sniffing my hair? My fur? What's going on? Oh, that's crazy, man.
we're gonna go to the bathroom. So I can
Oh,
get you
I'm not
to
into
the
bathrooms, man.
sinks.
I don't know if I could ever do that
Yes,
job.
you can.
Only sinks, right? Okay.
First, spray the sink.
Okay. Okay. I like that. I like this job, Mia.
Oh, then maybe you should come help me all the time.
Well, these are 4 jobs that I've never done before, and they're tough. You have to be sharp, you have to be smart, you have to get along with the people, and it's hard work, not easy, but you love it, right?
Yes.
She's fantastic. Thank
Thank
you very much
you.
for doing such a
Thanks.
great job. I'm your apprentice. You know
and I'm
that,
hired, right?
You're hired.
And was that not true about him?
I mean, his life would be a lot easier if he just didn't do any of this, you know.
Right. Right.
And so this goes back to what, you know, Musically Fit was talking about, because he is definitely one of those believers.
Yeah. So, you know, I had a guy, you know, of course, they're like showing the house that I'm staying in here. And it was a guy that I was literally watching some footage, man. He was like, oh, so I'm watching some Trump footage. He was like, oh, you're a believer, huh? Yeah, absolutely. You know, and a lot of, and like I said, I think that at the least you need to believe in common sense.
Yeah, no kidding, right? What's right in front of you?
Yeah, I mean, shit, if it looked like a duck, quack like a duck, shit, it's not a mother, man, it is not.
This has really not been that difficult to figure out. You know what I'm saying? Just look at it on its face. It is what it looks like.
And that sucks, man. That truly sucks. Hey, Musically Fit, where you at, bro? chasing children around the house?
Yeah, I'm here.
Like chasing your wife around the house, you know?
Oh,
I'm here,
I think 420's catching up with him. You know, he's got that.
Yeah.
No, I'm here.
Now, so what do you think about that, you know, with Trump doing his thing and, you know, just taking on jobs and, you know, in his hotel? I think that's actually a good, and this is way pre-president.
Yeah, it's just crazy because people don't want to.
Show, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's just crazy, bro, because people want to believe whatever they're saying, man, because they don't like stuff like that. Like him even being willing to do that, he didn't have to do that. He could have just. He didn't have to do that. We'll call it whatever you want to call it. But truth be told, he cared to know what was going on because he cared. Like, you know, how many people that you have seen do that to come and actually check on what's going on? Like, that shows that you care. And then he got a chance to see that those people actually are doing a job that is not as easy as sitting around every day. He said, I ain't never did this stuff before. It actually, these things can be difficult and it takes work to do this.
You know, and he literally sees through people. He can see through you. He sees through the BS. He's been seeing through the politics. He's one level. He's always been one level under. It's you know, it's in society as being like a billionaire. You know, he didn't have the power, the yield as a politician, but I'm sure he dealt with a lot of them. So yes, he knows what's going on.
Yeah, bro. And like News was saying, he didn't have to. He could have just stayed to his life. He didn't have like he literally could have just been somebody that was known as somebody that was rich. He didn't have to do this. Like he literally did not have to be like, okay, I see that there's some things that I might be able to see if I can possibly work and negotiate whatever. We can't be just left up to stupidity. I ain't doing nothing. Let me try this. Like he didn't have to. He could have just been like, you know what? I don't have to do nothing. I could just sit back and watch it crumble.
He
And
has
his
said it.
kids are grown now, and so he'd be sitting on a beach or on a yacht somewhere, you know,
Chilling.
and he's got a bunch of confident, smart kids. You know, he doesn't have to do any of this.
Yeah, he could be chilling and enjoying his life and just let himself get old and
his father gave him this propensity to want to be the best. His father didn't like losers. And that's what happens when you have a father in your home. Either you're going to love him for pushing you, or you're going to hate him for pushing you. But if he push you right, you're going to be pissed and successful. Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, look at the Jackson family. He kicked them kids' asses into fame and fortune.
Yeah, I say I'd rather you resent me and turn out good than to love me and turn out trash.
It would have turned out anyway, the Jacksons. I honestly do. I don't think all of that. I don't think they needed all that shit from him.
You know what? You know what though? What? Some of them wanted to do different shit.
I understand that, yeah. And eventually they did do other shit, but
I think that even Michael Jackson, if not guided, see the thing of it is when it comes to parenting like that, you're guiding, and it was excessive, but if you believe in the Bible or you believe
the results,
you raise a child in the ways that you want them to be, and they'll never part from it. So that's why when people teach their kids racism and things like that. It's embedded because you raised that child in the way that you wanted them to be by having that rhetoric around
it. And I just think that at least in the case of Michael Jackson, I think that dude was going to be famous no matter what.
At something, possibly. You never know.
I just. If I don't know. It's just some people have.
Let's just be honest. I'm from Gary, Indiana, same city that he's from, and there are some extremely talented people in that city. Mm-hmm. And even when he was coming up, so it's all about happenstance. It's all about circumstance and the determination. The kids probably wouldn't have had the determination to, shop themselves and go in those bars and things like that. And of course, Joe Jackson abused those children. He did. I mean, you could go through different stories of, if you ever get the opportunity, noobs, look up the DeBarge family.
Okay, and I'll swap you one because to illustrate what I'm talking about, take a look at Johnny Cash.
Yeah,
because he had the opposite of what you're talking about. His old man didn't want nothing to do with it. He wanted to go work at the factory. He had zero support, but he's still Johnny Cash. And I'm not saying, I'm not saying his dad didn't have an influence, not at all. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Right.
I'm just trying to say that, as talented as those kids were, particularly Michael Jackson, I think he was going to be something anyway.
Yeah, the effect of him being able to leave Gary, Indiana at 5 years old was a great benefit to him.
Yeah.
Excellent benefit, because the trappings of that city they're there and they're everywhere. It was going into desolence when they left. They left at the right time, because you couldn't have let a young Michael Jackson go to elementary, junior high, and high school in Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, they left right before Gary was about to go to hell.
Yeah,
they left right before Gary was about to go to hell.
So yeah, go ahead.
No, my bad. And I was saying, and I would dare to say that even though I I could say that they probably would have been stars, the environment always has a big, huge part, I feel like, in the cultivation. So if their dad didn't have the drive to get them out that city, or even have the, and a lot of people could feel kind of raw about how he raised them, and maybe a lot of things were extreme, but they wouldn't be who they were if it had not been for the input that he had, or even the fear of high performance. Like, you knew that your daddy was gonna beat the fuck out of you if you didn't know them lines, if you didn't know them dance moves,
and you missed them steps,
if you didn't know them songs. And I think that even like a lot of these kids that you see that have been propelled into child fame, and it's a whole thing with child stars and stuff like that. We get that, but even if you see some of these children that have been propelled into child fame, a lot of them had abrasive or physically or verbally abusive relationships. And I can't say that wasn't a major key player, because I'll be real. Even some of the talents that we've been able to have, different ones been able to have, it would have been different, and even our careers would have looked different if our parents were abusively on it and were like, "You're gonna make it," and beating the hell out of you to make sure that you made it. Yeah, it would have been harsh, but I think that sometimes people will feel like they would have traded that type of support per se to get farther ahead, because some people don't know how to give out the love or the support to prop up somebody's career that looks loving. They only know how to give it out of, you better do this, you have to be perfect, you have to be this if you want to be successful. And it comes off super harsh. And some of the things may be truths or exaggerated truths, but these things are some of the things that, especially, and there's plenty of examples that have helped propel a lot of these people that we think are brilliant or whatever, that started from child stardom. A lot of their upbringings were on a strict level, and some of it, I would even dare to say, a lot of the cases, not all, but some of the cases were exacerbated or they were exaggerated, where you literally had a parent that saw the stardom in their child and had to teach someone that literally is, kids are and they're not on our intelligence level. So you're teaching somebody that's literally mentally, in a sense, retarded in a sense. Okay, professionalism. You have to know how to memorize things. Beyond them even knowing how to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, know all their colors. You having to teach them a skill set of professionalism that it's like this one, slapping the hell out their hand. Like, no, you can't do that. You have to stand straight because we have to look good. And it comes off as abuse. It comes off as abuse, but it's just like,
okay.
You're teaching. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got you. Now, Joe put one up here, and he said, did Joe Jackson do what he did for his own game? I believe that him, as a aspiring singer himself, did vicariously try to live through his children. Yep.
Yeah, and it's still, because we've had this conversation before, believe it or not. And these are the times that we listen to R. Kelly explain the difference between talent and gift.
Right.
And so the things that you're talking about, the things that Joe,
I think that I think that Joe saw the gift.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
he helped to develop the talent.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think my only point, or the point that I tried to make at the beginning, is that Michael Jackson was already gifted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Yeah, he saw the gift.
But
And
if he had a passive father that was like, oh, my kid can sing, and had him singing in church, he would never went anywhere.
So the thing about it is that instead of him going outside and playing with them kids when he got off school like normal children used to do, he was at the house practicing.
Right.
Practicing. I'm talking about every day in a little bitty 2-bedroom.
It wasn't no going to after school program. That was over
None
with.
of that. Wasn't no. You play basketball with your brothers outside, and you bring your behind back in because we got to practice.
Type thing.
And it's crazy because you think about abuse and you think about what abuse is considered to be now, and it probably wasn't what it was assumed to be back in the 50s and 60s.
And then you look over it on a deeper level. Some people could say that they wish that their parents had that type of they saw it like that, because I'm not gonna lie, even with some of the things that could have happened in that situation that were abuse, you kind of do need a parent that sees it on that level and has the drive, the time, and the patience to push you, with knowing that you don't understand professionalism, with knowing that you're super green, with knowing that they could be super green, with knowing that they have to figure out the industry, knowing they have to, if they kind of care about you and they're not just trying to get money, they have to semi-protect you from all the people that's trying to molest you. They have to, it's a lot that goes into it. So it's just like, sometimes you consider like, there's certain things that when you see certain situations, is like, in a sense, when you have a child that's famous, or that they have a gift, you kind of have to have a parent that's involved, that doesn't is just not passively like, oh, my child can just dance, I don't care, and they're the best dancer in the damn world. You better get serious about it and figure out how to get them in the right rooms. And that might seem abrasive when you're knowing that it's a time span. It's going to be the next Michael Jackson next year. It's going to be a new dancer, a new singer. It's talent coming every fucking week. Excuse my language. You have to be able to hop on it when the iron's hot, especially when you don't have a child. Like, for example, I was looking at Macaulay Culkin, and with all the stuff coming out with these different children being abused, when I look back, I'm like,
that's
man,
Hollywood. And
I'm like,
we're just now finding out how crazy it is out there.
Right. And I'm looking at him like, man, this boy, for the level of for the movies that he did and the level that he had to be on for his skill set, I'm like, his parents were like, bro, you need to start talking at this age. Okay, now you're talking. Okay, first commercial. Okay, now first commercial. Now you need to get a speech therapist. They were so serious because they believed that their child could be a star. And he has some acting that when you look at the age and stage he was at, it was like, how was this kid competent enough? That means his parents were hard on him. That's just what it means. Call him gifted or whatever you want to call him. Call him gifted, whatever you want to call him, but gifts atrophy, especially when you have a child that is at a certain tier level. Like, we know we can see different people like the Leonardo DiCaprios, and I'm not, just saying a certain demographic, but the Leonardo DiCaprios and stuff of the day, they started so young that their parents actually executed once they start seeing the signs. They didn't wait for them to be 15, 16, 18 years old. Oh, you should be a model. No, they said, okay, at 2 years old, okay, I think my child's worthy of a famous lifestyle, whether they wanted it for themselves or not. And they executed it, and they struck where the iron is hot. And that's why some of these people started from 2 till 32 or whatever.
This is a good question that Joe is asking. So are you saying that abuse is good for the kids? Now, not saying that, but think about it. You had a whole antebellum slavery in this country. And these are adult people that if you didn't do your job right, you get the cat of nine tails across your back. And at the end of the day, nobody wants that, and that, just again, abuse is abuse. So,
right.
One thing that we know about some of these child stars, most of these child stars, abuse was popping off. You got to think about it. And Michael Jackson was traumatized on a bunch of levels. Yes, he was. I mean, anybody that would cut their nose off so bad that they probably needed nose attachments,
Yeah.
and basically where that came from was not only the abuse of his parents, but his siblings talking crap about him, when he was a teenager.
His nose.
His nose was as big as a bell pepper. And then on top of all of that, you got, he got acne problems and he's starting to develop vitiligo.
Yeah.
So, a lot of his issues was due to the stress of his career at a young age.
And back in them days, they were very unforgiving when you were different anyway. Back in the day, they was talking shit about you.
And the thing about it is, what's crazy is he carried a group from the age of 5 years old until he got into his early 20s and went on his own.
Yeah.
He carried a group.
I still think he would have been great anyway, because all that stuff you guys are talking about, whether, it came with training and with abuse. Okay, now let's take it back to R. Kelly. He didn't have any of that shit. And he's still great.
I mean, he did at a point. He once he got the bug for it, then he was at the music thing every day. He was every day, and I think that it was.
But he was doing his own thing.
And on top of all of that, when he was a kid, he was getting thoroughly abused.
But I mean, but my point was, what I'm trying to say in so many words is that to make it as a child, you have to have whether it comes. It's very rare that it comes from an angle. If you have a child that you want to make it from a little child up on a Michael Jackson level, because like R. Kelly didn't make it, he didn't have parent involvement on that level as a child. So like if his mom was like, my son can sing, and she was beating the hell out of him so he could sing extra good, he would have been a Michael Jackson level of star. He would have. That's just the reality. It sucks, but that's the reality. If his mom would have took it seriously when he was 2, he would have been a child since he would do the same thing Michael Jackson did. He would have started all the way up and grew up from all the way as a kid and had a child group as a kid and all of that.
His career is pretty young. Not as young as Michael Jackson's, but his career is pretty young, starting from nothing in the middle of nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I just, there's just too many music industry folks out there, the great ones that they didn't have all of that stuff that you're talking about. And I understand what you're saying, but it's just not the necessity that
I mean, most of the people that started as children did.
Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jesus, all the guys that are in Boston.
No, I'm saying most of the people that were famous as children did. Not people that became famous as adults. Most people that were famous as children, unfortunately, had what they would consider a rough upbringing.
Now, I can agree with that.
They married it.
No problem. But I just don't think that kind of input was necessary for their greatness.
No, if they had loving parents that wanted to push them, it could have still turned out. But most of these parents, when they don't understand, like it comes from, especially the Black people's perspective, it comes from a slavery mentality. It's like, okay, I'm gonna beat the hell out of you so you don't look bad in front of these real professional people in these real nice suits that's about to sign this money over. It still stems from those things. So even if you say from not a Black demographic, a lot of the young kid stars, yes, I will say that the adult people that made it or got famous became great. They got it their way that they got it, and they didn't start as kids. But a lot of the children, it could have been. And there's some situations where there's kids that their parents are the loving way and they supported them. And even with this new documentary, The Quiet on Set, they claimingly had loving parents, some of them. that
That's
had
any parents.
Right. Some of them didn't have any parents, and that was weird. There's just random kids they found, like whatever. But some of them claimingly had loving parents, but unfortunately, like the commonality is with a lot of kids that come up, their parents, are abusive. I mean, even all the stories of the parents that steal their kids' money, even if they weren't abusing them or were showing that, they did it like a rough way of being hard on them when it came to like learning their lines or whatever it was, they were stealing from them. So it's you know what I'm saying?
I'm of the impression that the majority of that genre, and I mean there are few exceptions. Keanu Reeves is one. There's
few.
That are pretty grounded, but for the most part, the rest of them are crazy.
Hey,
and their parents actually loved them.
Slow down. I got to give a full-fledged shout out to Puppet Gate. How y'all doing?
Hey, what's up, Puppet Gate? Hey, we love you guys here.
All right, Puppet Gate in the building. I wonder if I would love to send you guys a link. It'd
be lit if y'all could get on the show one time. That'd be dope.
Yeah. Come on the panel, man. We'd love to talk to somebody.
Or one of the puppets.
That'd be dope. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Any of that would be wild, man. I'd love it.
And you know what? I would safely say that your content is so much on point. It's like
it's crazy, real. It's scary.
It's the truth. Like the one where Biden sold his soul. That was like, oh yeah.
Saturday Night Live needs to be right behind y'all and picking up. They need to make a contract.
I mean,
Saturday Night Live need to be right behind them.
You know what? Nope, do it organically. Screw NBC and everything them left wingers stand for.
Well, it's creating that narrative on television. Yep, exactly. Creating a certain narrative.
How you guys haven't been on Fox News yet is beyond me. Sometimes I think the dudes like Fox live under a rock.
And since we got them in here, I got to do it. I'm so sorry, y'all. I got to do it. I gotta take a pause for the call. Stop everything, because I have to play my favorite. Oh, you said tomorrow we get an episode. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Much love. This is gonna be an appreciation to y'all.
And that is like monumental. I really appreciate the fact that you guys are in the building tonight. So we're gonna go ahead and give you all, we're gonna play one of the songs, like when the superstar come in the club. You be like, oh, VIP, Puppet Gate in the building. You know what I'm saying? For real. So, we gonna have to put the DJ gonna have to play one of their songs, Make sure you send a bottle of Cristal over there on the DJ. Stuff like crap like that, Since they're in the building, I wanna play my absolute favorite thing that Puppet Gate has ever done, and I just believe that there needs to be a music video for somebody else. We got to figure out who. I mean, it's going to be interesting who you all find out. We're going to throw some things out there. We're just going to have to do it because, I would love it. I would love if some of the Puppet Gate people would come over here. Can you please tell them? I just let them know. We're on a mission. We're trying to grow here as well. And
I think it would be good if we could maybe interview Joe Biden on this show.
Oh man, no, he if he can't debate Trump, he don't want to deal with me.
Oh no. I mean, Puppet Gate Joe Biden.
Oh, still don't.
Yeah,
want it.
still
don't want it. But we got to do it because
this is the one and only Big Fanny.
Because I love it.
And you want to know about corruption? Well, I'll tell you what. What you talking about, Willis? I'm Fulton County's finest. What? Corruption. Spending these G's with no interruption. Worldwide vacays, Grey Goose consumption. Fanny and Nathan, it's pure seduction. I'm F-A-N-I, the legal queen. In the rap game, I reign supreme. From the ATL, I'm the baddest DA. With my prosecution team, every day we slay. I wear my clothes backwards like I was crisscross. I floss when I ride around this bit. Here is boss, got stacks of cash. where I lay my head. These racks are flash, I'm ballin', got bread. When I rap, I flow, cause I got the juice. Popping bottles of the goose while my fanny gets loose. Me and Nathan's hot dog, we be knocking boots all the way through the night as he rides my caboose. I'm Fulton County's finest. What corruption? Spending these G's with no interruption. Worldwide vacays, Grey Goose consumption. Fanny and Nathan, it's pure seduction. I'm going after Trump on this made-up case, cause he thinks he's gonna win with this MAGA base. Rico charges to the left, Rico charges to the right. When I come through the court, I'm putting up a fight. I love to go to Napa Valley, all paid in cash. Take a trip with Nathan Wade for his birthday bash. The only man that ever paid for me is my daddy, the one that lives on couches and has no addy. My sweat and my tears made me a fortune. To all my haters, watch out, I'm torching. Burning this bitch down to the ground. While I get mug shots, I'll run this town. I'm Fulton County's finest. What corruption? Spending these G's with no interruption. Worldwide vacays, Grey Goose consumption. Fanny and Nathan, it's pure seduction. What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? Hey yo, it's Fulton's finest. It's your girl, Big Fanny. I want to give a shout out to Judge McAfee. Thanks for the money, yo. Peace.
Once again, big shout out to my people over there at Puppygate, man. Y'all keep it rolling. Now let's get Letitia up out here with her articulate ass. See what she got to say. Like, Donald Trump got loans because he's a smart businessman and I'm a stupid lady who did the same thing and wanted to charge him. Good Lord. Puppygate, you are the best. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for pulling up on the scene. Yes.
Yeah, man. Nice to see you.
Oh my goodness, that make me feel. I'm like, tell mama I made it. That's another one that y'all need to do.
Yeah.
Trump going to the Chick-fil-A, that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
And the meltdown that ensued. Yeah, that would be funny. I think I'll die.
Yeah, there's going to be no shortage of material for you guys for the foreseeable future. That is certain.
Oh man, I appreciate the love too. I really do. I hey, I know sometimes you've probably been hiding in the weeds. We've done some very, very interesting lives, and I know if you've ever listened, we talk about a lot of stuff. We cover a lot of bases. It's simply pulling up, sitting down on the couch, and talking about what's real and what's fake. And if you have anything inside of your head that looks like a brain, that hasn't been fried from whatever these people are smoking, eating, or whatever, you realize that there has been a supreme injustice that has happened and is continuing to happen in our country. And I appreciate that you all are able to do it in a funny way. And you do it in a funny way, and you do it in a way that even the layman can understand it. So much love, man. I really appreciate everything you all do. I talk about it a lot too. So even when I'm not online, I'm like, these guys are crazy. I show everybody that I can. So, just know that. Noobs, what you got to say? We're going to get ready to wrap things up here shortly. So anything you all want to expound on?
I am good to go. Yeah, thanks, Puppygate, for coming by. I mean, seriously, you guys release a new video and I get a text from Derek. And so yeah, thanks a lot for stopping by.
Absolutely. That was the highlight of my night. Made it worth it. I do want to shout out everybody who's actually came into the chat tonight. Those who were on X, those who were on Rumble, and those who are on YouTube. I appreciate you all the time. Love you all. I want to shout out all my mods that was in here. I had my man Joe in here. I had Kilroy Girl in here, Love Unconditional, and C Star was in the building. I appreciate all y'all for what y'all do. Make sure y'all continue to do what you do, and remind these people to like, share, subscribe, and hit notification bells. That is the only way that we can get to where we need to be. Okay. So, Musically Fit, man, talk to me. Oh, Big Vi, wait a minute. Come on, man. Why are you doing this to me?
No, what happened?
Why are you doing this to me, Big Vi? You messed around and showed up now, and I'm finna go? Oh, no.
Oh, no. Well, here, let me drop the link.
That's crazy. That's crazy. It is what it is, man. You know how we do, man. It's all right.
Well, and that's why it's a couch and not a show.
Absolutely. You know, sometimes you gotta. So I guess I'll just grab another beer because y'all know how I do. You know, hey, I want them to do a puppet of me doing my live. That'd be funny.
Goodness. I don't know if I can handle a Provoked Thoughts puppet, man. I don't know if I can handle that.
Oh man, a Provoked Thoughts puppet.
Oh,
I think
no.
that would explode my channel. Like, who is this guy? Who's that guy?
You know, we might have to do that.
I definitely need to get a Provoked Thoughts puppet.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Just get one bald head and everything.
Yep, where Provoked Thoughts is actually, you know, he's on the lam or he's got something to do and he's busy and it's we'll just replace him with a puppet.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. You know, hey, if you need a shot of the face, I don't care. I'll put it up there. So this guy right here, go ahead.
Yeah,
take a
that's it.
And make a puppet, and that'll be hilarious. I'd die. I would die.
Yep. Oh, and you know, the dude that is going to be your puppeteer just came into the chat, didn't you, Big Vi?
Oh my goodness.
What's up with y'all?
Hey man, what's happening, bro?
Man, hey, man, out in these streets, man, out and about in these streets, man. Seeing y'all was on here. I said,
yeah.
Then I heard you saying, thanks everybody for coming. I'm like, damn, it's over with already.
Yeah, I was trying to sneak out the back door on y'all asses, but you know, it's all good. I mean, I'm chilling. I'm waiting on somebody to make themselves available, and then I'm gonna dip off regardless.
Man, what the hell happened with this dude putting himself on fire, man? What the fuck?
Man, maybe it was cold outside or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know, man. Like I said, you talking about
just something else to distract. That's all it is.
I heard they said he was a conspiracy theory or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
aren't they all?
Well, you got to think. You got to think about the lady that pushed her kids out the car, was stabbed her dude, pushed her kids out the car, and then crashed herself
over the eclipse because she believed that it was the end of the world. That's what I'm talking about.
Man,
when people go to them extremes, just religious.
That ain't weed. That's mushroom, man.
Yeah, no, that's some acid, bro.
Bath salt. Fuck that.
That's some acid, bro.
Absolutely, man. It's crazy, man. So what you say? You just out kicking it a little bit, man.
Yeah, I'm out kicking it, man. That's it.
Okay, I mean, you got somebody got to do it, man. You know, hey.
What's up with it, dude? Who else we got on here?
Oh, this right here. This is Musically Fit. This my
It's your
nephew.
family, man.
Yeah, that's fam right here.
Yeah, boy, you should have seen the other day. News got to hear a little bit of Tim Savage, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you was absolutely floored behind Tim Savage.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Boy, that dude funny, boy. That dude is hilarious, man. So what ended up happening? I mean, because the people, boy, for me, when the dude set himself on fire, it was the black lady doing the commentary. Like, she was like,
yeah.
I'm starting to smell flesh burning.
Yeah, I started to smell. Oh yeah. She started thinking she was at a barbecue.
Like somebody seasoned the shit out of those ribs. Oh damn! No, wait a minute.
I'm starting to smell flesh.
Yeah. And then I mean, as soon as she was one of the ones that I saw, and Fox News did the same thing. Because as soon as the blaze started, the cameraman all, turned toward it or whatever. And then as soon as they figured out, it's like, oh, that was a dude on fire. They all panned away and set the cameras down. But, the announcing people just kept going.
Man, she was doing a play-by-play. Motherfucker, that's on fire. Boy.
Man, that dude, I don't know what he was going through, man. You need to, I don't know. Oh, man.
Delusional belief. That's what he had. He had that belief that you don't want to have. If you ain't willing to do that for your woman or your kids, you shouldn't be willing to do that for nothing you believe in. I'm sorry. If you ain't willing to do that for your family, I'm talking about your immediate. I'm talking about your woman and your children. If they're good to you, you better not be doing it over nothing you believe or no radicalism, because that shit's weird. And that's why folks be trying to think folks broken, the brain broken shit. That is weird. That's what that is.
Brain broken.
He missed the flight stopped on 9/11.
Oh hell no! Oh hell!
What? Wow! You know what? It is crazy because they gonna dig into this fool's life.
You know they are.
Yep.
And he had a such and such, and he, they're gonna do a whole documentary on bro.
And like I said, they're trying to conceal the fact that was. I think that was a left winger out there tripping, and they don't really want it to be known. So they're like, he has no affiliation. We don't know. We don't know.
He's an immigrant
with a picture of Bill Clinton.
That dude has got to be nuts enough that his affiliation really doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
I hear it. Because they don't even want to stand up for him and defend him. Like, oh no, he's this, he's that. But we're gonna see when the documentary come out. We're gonna see. Because they're gonna have a movie on it. It's gonna be a movie done. It's gonna be a documentary. It's gonna be a whole bunch of reenactments. It's gonna be a Lifetime special. It's gonna be.
You might as well know we're probably gonna end up talking about it on here.
If 1,000 Ways to Die was around, it'd be 1,000 Ways to Die episode. It's gonna be all types of joints. They're gonna have movie after movie. We're gonna see who's gonna play dude, because they're gonna have somebody that's gonna play dude.
What could possibly make a human being want to fricassee themselves?
And they're gonna get an Oscar for playing the role. Watch how this will play out.
Well, if
it's gonna be nominated for an Oscar.
If Ashton Kutcher manages to stay out of trouble or whatever, it'll probably be him.
Bro, we're gonna see.
Mm-hmm.
It's an Ashton Kutcher Diddy wave. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's another deep hole.
That's a deep hole, Doc.
Man, the rabbit hole goes. But what I did want to get back to the statement that News did make about R. Kelly and his abuse as a child.
Go ahead, talk about it.
From the age of 8 years old to the time he was 15, he was sexually assaulted almost every other day by his sister, not to mention neighbor. So there was some abuse, so
now my question to
now that they contributed to his stardom, though.
Did that drive him?
How did they contribute to his stardom?
It probably did. I mean, wouldn't you want to get out of a situation?
Damn.
I
hear that.
Get out of a situation, and this is what I was saying when I'm talking about the difference between being gifted and just being talented. And so I think that had R. Kelly's circumstances been different, he would have had a different result and may or may not be in the same situation. But he still would have been in the limelight, though, because he is who he is.
Well, what's crazy is that he had 2 lanes absolutely out of the hood. Mm-hmm. Not only was he a great singer, he was an incredible basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about incredible, like ridiculous, to the point where at a point in his career, in his music career,
he had to make a choice.
Somebody was looking to sign him,
and then people try to downplay it.
People were looking to sign him, he had an actual endorsement from Reebok. He was, they had him endorsing Reebok. It's crazy, You know, people don't think about all of that, but he had other lanes, so it is possible. But the crazy thing about it is a lot of these people that are famous either have gone through, whether it be through their parents or when they get to the industry. And I think that a lot of times is that the parents are so blinded by the potential of money, they don't pay attention to what's going on with their children.
That I think is true. Yeah,
that's true.
You know, they're so blinded by the fact that, and the thing about it is that people don't even want to realize this now. You know, I don't believe, like I said, when it comes to the R. Kelly thing, everybody know my belief system with it. Total injustice, all of that stuff. So it seems like it's a lie. When we did the Trevor Bauer situation, we could prove clear lies right there in our face. So, if one woman can lie, then all of them can lie. So if you wait 10 years, I'm going to doubt it. Whether it's Donald Trump, whether it's Trevor Bauer, Trey Songz, P. Diddy, all of y'all. And you can sit up here and talk about a psychologist, but when it comes down to how I feel, if somebody breaks into your house and steals all of your shit, you're going to call the police immediately. So if somebody violates you, you should feel the same way about your human being person that you have to live in every day, whether you got all of the shit around you that I said that somebody just came and stole. That's how I feel. So, that's where accountability comes in. And you can't tell me that you were a victim of anyone and you go back for more victimization. I'm sorry. That's just crazy.
That is crazy. Now, but I can understand it from the aspect of a young child, though, because
that's all
you know.
Oh no, go ahead. Yeah.
That's true.
That's when you're being brought up that way. That's all you.
But at the end of the day, when people get into relationships, that tends to be all they know, and they go back to abuse all the time. I've seen it in life.
Yeah, that's true. But when you're an adult, I do agree with you. At a certain point, you got to make your own deal.
Right. Now the thing about it is that when it comes down to neglect is neglect. And if you really want to know the truth about it, if you send your child and you give your child away to a person to make them famous, and you don't think enough of the best interest of your child to drop whatever it is you're doing and be there, and something happens to your child, there's a problem, and you need something to happen to you.
And I tell you, that's another deep hole, because we can apply that same logic to these girls whose parents, pretty much pimp them out to these celebrities.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to think about it. Certain things start at home. You have to look at the fact that now we can pull videos up where women are twerking in front of their children, in front of their daughters, and their daughters are learning how to twerk. So,
and now we got green people on Marvel doing that. That's the appropriate thing. Yeah.
You got a woman out here named Sexy Red who talks about irresponsible sex like it's nothing. And I use the term woman loosely. So, we have to, what we have to do as parents is be parents. And if you giving your people away to these people, and then the crap that happened in Nickelodeon happened, crap that happened at Disney happened, the crap that happened with any young music group, because you're sending them to an industry that has all of that stuff. And there are predatory people in an industry where there's only sex, drugs, and rock and roll after the show and the after party. And that's pretty much what we're dealing with. And these parents need to be held accountable. Those that don't go fall into those pitfalls, for the most part, their parents were there. Whether they were stealing from the kid or not.
And their parents knew about it. And in a lot of situations, their parents knew about it. Their parents, and that's the ugly part of it all, that regardless of any of the horrors that some people experience, we don't want to really know that their parents knew. We don't really want to know that their parents sold them, and we don't really want to know that their parents wanted to get money. We don't really want to know that. That's why there's such a narrative that's created for the stars to be the monsters, because we don't want to know that the parents had an involvement, or there was a level of irresponsibility, or there's accountability that should be taken. We don't want to know that for real.
Right.
I think me personally, even on the parents' behalf, and I think a lot of the shit, me personally, just be bullshit. Me as a parent, now I'm not gonna say it ain't no bad parents out there, but for some of this shit, they say, oh, the mama and the daddy, they knew that this was going on, that was going on, and this, that, and the third. Like, you really want me to think that, even though I know it's a percentage of parents out there that are negligent, but then you got some parents that just not going for this shit. But then when you look at it, the way that we look at it, growing up in the black community, certain shit was just off limits, you
All
know.
right.
But then
Yeah.
at the same time, when you be talking about this celebrity shit, I think they pick and choose which celebrities they gonna tarnish. Because when you talk about the shit with Michael Jackson, right? When these kids were younger, they was under the influence of what they were told to say. Versus when they became adults, what they do. Well, our parents put us up to saying that to try to, like, that type of shit like that. Like, I don't know, when it come to high profile shit, man, in the everyday life, man, you just look.
It's twisted, is what you're saying. It's not.
It's so much. It's so hard to figure out where the truth lie.
Right. Yeah.
Because it
Yeah.
like with the R. Kelly situation,
Uh-huh.
a person who you say have a 30-year career and they've committed all of this crime they committed, why do you have to stack the decks and why are you breaking the law to enforce the law? If this person have committed all of these crimes, y'all say that he committed over a 30-year period, you shouldn't have to taint the jury. You shouldn't have to give people immunity. You shouldn't have to. All of that shit right there makes me feel it's like, hold on, something ain't right about this shit.
Yep. And this is exactly what we're seeing in the current political environment too. It's the same kind of thing. And this is why, we always end up, essentially talking about the same things, whether we're talking about R. Kelly or, politics or, P. Diddy or any of those guys.
Right. And I just man, we live in America, man. Even though they want us to forget our history, we cannot erase that shit. You ain't finna tell me that a black man in this country we live in that committed crimes for 30 years and got away with it. You just not finna make me believe that.
Right. Not of anybody.
So Puppetgate, you think they got Mike Johnson on camera doing some BS? I think so, because he showed just was like, okay, I'll do whatever.
And that guy Cohen, he's a fucking informant.
All right. Yeah, that man. Look, the dude is terrible. He's horrible. He's a liar.
Man, we just seen these type of people like Cohen. When you talk about all of these movements that were took down, like the Black Panther, like a lot of these powerful movements that were taken down, and it was taken down from by people like Cohen. Why are if you over taking care of a situation, why would you go out here talking about you making payments and you saying, oh, these payments are for settlements? The same shit that we seen in the arcade is this lady asks you for help with her rent. You tell your accountant, well, give her the money for her rent, but he go and put on a goddamn check settlement payment. Come on, man. Who the fuck? What type of motherfucker would do that, knowing the history between you and this young lady? So now, when they go through when the IRS go through your shit, and these checks saying settlement payments, now it looked like you was paying this girl to not show up to court.
And we're bouncing around a little bit, but yeah, you're talking about the R. Kelly case now.
Yeah, I mean, but look at the similarities, man.
I'm comparing what Darren McDavid did to R. Kelly to what the guy did to Donald Trump.
Michael Cohen, yeah. He paying money without the man's knowledge.
You see what I'm saying? It's shit
the fixer.
It's set up shit, man. That's motherfuckers like that. I feel is working for the government all along. they not for you.
Right. Well, we got nobody in government that is for us. They get paid by other folks, man. Whoever's paying their bills, that's who they're for. And that's why we have this fake two-party system that we're stuck in the middle of now.
What? Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess, man. I don't even, at this point, I don't even really look at Trump as a Republican anymore. Like
No.
I just look at him as the person, the person for the job.
Yeah, him and a very, very few others are actual, conservative Republicans in the classic sense that they believe in a small government and that, people should be, the government works for the people, not the other way around.
And the crazy thing is everything that we've been screaming about and we've been yelling about New York and how they was doing R. Kelly and the injustice that they hid is now on full display.
Yeah, well, there's your communist virus, ground zero within the shores of the United States, and now that virus is spreading to all the other big cities throughout the country.
I do like Byron Donalds. I do like him. Byron Donalds is he would be a good president, I think. But I would say maybe the next president.
Yeah. Well, I have to bid you guys good night a little bit early. I will talk to you guys. I am going to be on vacation for the next couple of weeks, or out of pocket for the next couple of weeks. But I will give you a shout as soon as I get back.
Absolutely, man. It's always good to have you. I hate to see you gone, for that time, but I know you got to do what you got to do, man. And I'm gonna, we're gonna miss you over here, man, and we're gonna be happy when you come back. So hopefully we can make some strides. Like I said, and like I always say in every live, we are on a journey, on a mission to 500 subscribers. We are getting there slowly but surely. My likes are trickling in, but I really, really, really need a boost, at some point. So make sure you share. Make sure that people get to see the information and the things that we talk about on Provoked Thoughts. Make sure that you do that. It is very important that you do that. Make sure that you like the content so that we can get noticed out here. If we don't like it, then people say, well, nobody likes it. The algorithm will say nobody likes it and they won't send it out. So we have to, if we want this channel to grow, if everybody wants it to grow, we got to go there. We got to do it. And I don't like to have these type of speeches, but it's real talk. I try to be a little bit more vigilant, as far as posting things, as far as, being, a little bit more formatted and things so that I can bring a better product to you guys. Only thing I ask, just send it out. Make sure people get the content, man. And like I said, I do appreciate everybody, man, that comes through at every moment, man. Like I said, I appreciate my man Joe for sending me that Cash App this evening. That is necessary. I like coffee, so trust me, I will be getting me something. What I'm saying? I might go and get me a venti.
I caught y'all when y'all was about to exit, but I appreciate y'all dropping that link down. We gonna get it together though. When we all gonna get.
Oh yeah, man. I was sitting up there tripping the other day, man, because I did the Trey Songz video, man, about his allegations and everything. And then it had like 300 views. And then I looked up, man, and then it's over like 1,600. And I'm like, when did that happen and how? And I can't figure it out, but it exploded to a little degree with the following that I have or whatever. So, I know that it's possible, man. We just have to, like I said, got my t-shirts, we got all our stuff going for that. Of course, I need to be putting that up a little bit more, but I need to get my mods on that stuff, but it's all good. Like I said, we're going to have a mod meeting. I know we need to have that. And just going over logistics and stuff like that, man, it's really, really cool, man, to be able to bring this information and to have, people like Puppet Gate that got my back, and really, coming over and kicking it. It's crazy. I'm humble.
Firebrand, everybody.
Yeah, Firebrand Media. It's amazing to me, man. It's a humbling experience because, when I started my live, I let it be known that, yeah, I'm definitely aware of the injustice that happened to R. Kelly, and we're going to talk about it and we're going to hatch it out. But, I don't want to, not look at everything else that's going on in the world, and it's all tying in together and it's a messy mess. It's so sad that I know in my heart that they set a legal precedence with the R. Kelly case, so they can literally just go after anybody about anything with nobody flinching. They actually do these things to prepare us for what's coming next. People don't even get that, Big Vibe.
Oh yeah, everything is a piece to the puzzle, man.
So
it has a big picture.
Absolutely, man. And like I said, I'm compelled now to stay with this. I can't stop this, because it's bigger than me now. I'm saying? I got people that look forward to hearing what I got to say, whether it's crazy, whether we laugh, whether I get serious, and we at a point in time in society, we've seen some things that let us know that there's some evil forces working out here. We've been seeing it for the past 6 or 7 years. There's some evil forces actually working to try to pull everything apart for people that's just trying to make it. So if we allow for all this extra stuff to happen without outrage and allowing people to bully us into silence, man, what are we doing? Straight up, man, it's crazy. It's crazy as hell to me, man. Now the crazy thing is, what's even crazier, bro, is I don't even be around the crib in the evening time no more. I be dipping off, man. I got me a little homie. I be out, bro. It's crazy. They got a little different out here for me in these streets.
Oh man, it's smooth, bro.
Yeah, so I be trying to, that's why I got to make sure I schedule my life out a little bit. I got this brand new job, man, and it's really, I'm learning a lot of great things. And expanding my scope on that career. But in a minute, I feel like that I'm gonna have a different type of career, and it's gonna be right here with y'all, man, for real. Yep.
Oh, definitely. Hey,
yeah.
You do it how you gotta do it. Only thing, like I say, the best thing, the most important thing is when you do come on and you bring your content, just make sure that it's shit that people want to hear, man.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And like I said,
I don't go on all the time, but when I do come on, I try to find some shit that people gonna want to hear.
Right. And Puppet Gate, if you get time, go check out Big Vibe Opinion. It's a great podcast, man. It's where I got my start, and where I really grew my legs to get out here and do this thing. So check him out. He really got some content. He put his stuff together, and it's for critical thinkers like yourself. So on that note, y'all, man, we're gonna go ahead and bust a move. Like I said, I love and appreciate everybody, and we're gonna go and jump up out of here quick before I say something else, and we be talking for another half. So,
all right, cool, bro.
All right, I'll holler at you, man. Well, it's all love.
How long before we start the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we start the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we say fuck this piece shit and grab them clappers? How long before we lose our voices shouting Black Lives Matter? How long we gon' keep letting them disrespect our president? How long we gon' keep letting them terrorize our residents? I'm sick of this shit. It's word to Bernie Mac. How long before we police ourselves, take our own streets back? How long for Uncle Tom here and hate on this shit? How long before they take a shot at me for making this shit? How long I gotta wait for justice for Josiah Shaw? How long we gotta fake it till we can take it and whack them all? How long we not gonna make these youngers pull their pants up? How long we gonna keep letting them shoot us down with our hands up? How long we gonna keep killing our own and making these streets hot? How long will what I say to you stay with you when the beat stop? How long's your attention span? How long you watch the news? You ain't down to shake shit up with the rebels for the cause? I ain't talking to you.